On this episode, we're going to test fit the engine. We're going to see if you can fit a BMW gearbox in a 73 Firebird. And we're going to look at the PMC LS engine to BMW gearbox adapter plate kit. Some parts have arrived. So I've bought a kit from PMC, which is a Polish company who make adapter kits. And this one converts an LS engine to a BMW gearbox. We've got a gearbox that's been delivered as well. That is a 6-speed manual, which has come out of a 330D, 320D, I forget, it's the same basically. And that was really cheap. That was about 260 quid delivered. So quite happy about that. Let's hope it doesn't explode. Should be right. I think they're good for 500 or 600 Newton meters. And I'm not planning, well, I am planning, but in the immediate future, it won't be anything like that, so that's all fine. So in the kit, I've gone for a standard clutch, or a standard clutch plate. You can buy a 6-puck clutch plate, and you can get multiple clutches. But I'm not doing drag racing in this car. It'll get launched, but yeah, we're not doing quarter-mile times, so I think this will be fine. If it's not fine, I'll change it later, but I think it'll be absolutely fine. I want it to be drivable on the street, so I don't want a clutch. I've seen 6-puck clutches before, and they're horrendous in traffic and just driving around normally, so I don't want that. So that's what we've got. What you also get is a nice Gucci flywheel. They give you a thrust bearing, which is nice. Put that over there. There's a nice flywheel, and obviously because you've got an adapter, which is basically a couple of plates that bolt between the engine and the gearbox, you've got to space out the flywheel a little bit, which is why it looks like that. And I need the flex disc, which I've had delivered as well, to bolt on the engine, because you may have seen in the previous video that mine is bent. Probably happened when shipping. So there's a new one of those to go on. They give you a load of bolts. Let's just move this out of the way for a second. There's a load of nuts and bolts, and then what we've got is the exciting bit, which is two pretty nicely done. There's actually two there, if you can see that. Can't get them, oh, they've been bolted together. So you have one side bolted to the gearbox, one side bolted to the engine, and then you bolt the two things together. Oh, quite a lot of bolts. It doesn't weigh that much. I think it's aluminium, I think. Looks really nicely done. It's all nice round edges and slightly brushed. So yeah, happy with that. So I need to get the engine back out and think about how I'm going to join these two together. And the other thing I want to do is a test fit on the engine, which is obviously going to go in there. I think I need to drill a couple of holes for the engine mounts, and I just want to see if it actually fits and whether I can fit the exhaust manifolds on, or whether I've got to buy headers. So engine is sitting over there for the minute, so let's get that out and have a little look. Take the carb off, and I'm using this lifting plate. I'm a little bit concerned about the size of the threads on the intake, but I do believe this is an approved method of lifting it, so that's what I'm going to do. I need to take the stand jobby off, and I need to take the manifolds off. There's no point filming that. I'll do that now, and we're going to try and put her in there, see if it fits. Hopefully it fits, we'll see. actually a lot easier than I thought. So what we've got, this side is probably easier, is these, I think I mentioned in a different video, we've got these LS swap mounts for, they're actually for a C10. They're not bolted in properly, nothing's bolted in properly. These C10 mounts move backwards and forwards, so we're at the most rearward setting, and we've got, honestly, we've got more room than I wanted at the back. So yeah, I have to think about that. But I mean, it's in. I need to, the height might be a problem. Yeah, okay. I think this is where the difficulty starts. Oh, it's not all the way back. It could be a bit further back. I haven't bolted these in either. What I'm going to do is take this out, bolt those in properly, and try and get it as far back as possible.
A few minutes later.
It's not supported at the back, but the C10 mounts seem to work pretty well. I don't actually think that the height will be an issue because of the shaker hood. I mean, we'll have to see, won't we? If it is, then it is. I'm going to need to do something else. There's plenty of clearance under here, so we could actually go down another inch or so. Obviously, I haven't bolted it in properly. I'm just stuck screwdrivers and things through the holes, but it's nice to see an actual engine in the engine bay again. Cool. So let's hook this out again and stick the new flex plate and the gearbox adapter and the flywheel and clutch on. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Okay, first thing we need to do is remove this wonky old flex disc. It's going to be a problem there. Rear seal looks good, I think. Yeah, good. Okay, fantastic. Okay, first problem. Obviously, this hole much bigger than this hole. I don't know whether I've bought the wrong flex disc. It's a bit annoying, that is. The teeth look like they're the same. I wonder if it can't just center on the bolts, can it? I must have bought the wrong one. That's quite annoying. Because obviously it's got to come from America. Okay, I think that's a question for the internet. We'll crack on with the old flex disc, I think, for the minute. So this is obviously the engine side of the PMC adapter. And we've got 9 M10 bolts. There is a spare hole there. I guess that's for a different model of engine. So these all want to be 46 Newton meters. Alright, so we've got the gearbox side of the PMC adapter attached. There's just 4, I think these are M10 as well, Allen bolt jobbies. There's supposed to be a couple of M8s, but I don't think that's for this gearbox. This particular gearbox is slightly less popular than the others. So I think that's all fine. PMC sends you another one of these. I forget what that's called, but I don't know why, but they do, so it's on. And they send you a thrust bearing, like I think I mentioned before, and that's in its lowest setting. Now, I've decided not to put the flywheel on. because I've realised what I've done with this this flex disc. I ordered the one for a 73 Firebird and not a 2003 Escalade because I'm an idiot. So that can stay on there for the minute. It's all got to come back out anyway, so it's no massive drama. So what I'm going to do now is try and fit up the gearbox, or attach the gearbox side onto here, and then we can see if both engine and gearbox fit the car. All right, that's the thing bolted together. Not massively difficult, but there's no clutch and things in there yet, so we'll see. So you got the 9 bolts around the edge to bolt the 2 plates together, and then these 2 M10s again go straight through all the transmission, gearbox and the adapter plate into the block, so that should be pretty secure. And what I'm going to do is use this to lift on as well as the lifting plate, I think, because I'm a little bit concerned about lifting both transmission and engine on that engine plate. It falling off would be unfortunate, so why not? So I'll hook that up and then we'll try and fit both in the car and see how we go. She's in there. Again, just temporarily with the screwdrivers through the engine mounts. There is a bit of space at the back, more than I wanted, but is what it is. We're at the maximum adjustment on those engine mounts. It's pretty good that they move, actually. That made it a lot easier to get the thing in there. I was interested in alternator mounting down here. I don't think that's going to be possible. We'll have to see. And the height, I'm going to put the carb on and see what the height is like. We've got clearance to the brake shenanigans. I like to put the headers on if they fit. See if I can use them temporarily before I get headers. Yeah, brilliant. Right, next up. Quick look at pinion angle. So what I need to know is whether I need to modify the transmission tunnel or not. So the engine is pressed up against the tunnel. Probably can't leave it this high, in fairness. I've zeroed this angle finder out on the rocker panel, or the sill if you're English, and that's coming out at, if I can get it in the middle, 0.9, 0.8 downwards. So the engine is pointing down. So on the pinion, we've got 1.3 up, that says. 1.3 up. Okay. So what that tells me is that I've got a bit of space to drop that down a little bit. Obviously I need to make a cross member. Looks like it's not too far off the original location for the cross member, so that might be good. Yeah, I need to measure this distance as well, don't I, between the pinion and transmission, so I can get a prop shaft made. Cool. All right. Well, I'll take those numbers and get a prop shaft made. But I think we've got enough movement, and I don't need to murder the transmission tunnel too much. Maybe a little bit, but I think if it's coming down a bit more, that'll give me some clearance. So all good. I was thinking that maybe I would use manifolds temporarily on this car rather than buying headers, because they're if you're watching in America, it costs quite a lot of money to get things over here with shipping and taxes. So headers is more expensive than it over here than it is in the US. But I can't, because we're fouling the header on this. Sorry, we're fouling the frame on this side, subframe down here. I could probably clearance that, but don't know. Anyway, but regardless of that, we're fouling it down on this side as well, where the on the flange where it bolts up. Can you see down there? Yeah. So non-starter. So I'll whip those off again. Bit of a shame. Never mind. So that's quite an encouraging sight. I've bolted up the fenders and front panel very loosely and put the hood on top. I just want to see if there's any space issues. Put the carb on the top. Take that little bag away. There's a lot of space in it at the front, anyway. Oh, wow. Yeah, the engine bay is so big it makes the engine look small. I don't have the inner fenders here. They're in storage, so I'll have to go and get them at some point. But I need the space for the moment anyway. Then maybe I'll keep them out for a bit. But space-wise, so looking across, I think the carb is just at hood level. I think what I'll do, I'll close the hood and show you, but I think a small air filter will be okay. It will have to be a small one to go up in the shaker hood. Let's shut the bonnet and show you. Alright, that's the hood shut. Under here, we've got reached about that space. I think that would be okay. I was hoping to put a little carb riser on there to help with the heat soak, but I'll get a small air filter and see what the space is like. It's nice to see it, well, not back in one piece, but slightly less pieces. Awesome. Right, I'm going to have to take all this out now.
A few minutes later.
We're back to how we started. So engine and gearbox is out. That's how that's going to stay now. My new flex disc should arrive sometime in the next week. When it does, I can put the flywheel on and the clutch and make them all back up. We can look at actually fitting it permanently, which will be quite exciting. Need to look at a cross member as well. Weirdly, it's the old cross member looks like it's practically in the right place. I can't use it, but all the holes I think will be good for it, so that'll be good. So I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to support the build, there's a link in the description. You can buy me a spark plug or whatever you like. Thanks very much. Cheers.